And I'm just going to dive right in and show you the Smart Writer tool inside of Koubou. I'm just going to click right here. Right now I have no writers pre-created or anything like that, so I'm just going to click right here. I'm actually going to do the first one here manually, but I have things kind of already written out here, so I'll just be copying some stuff in for you so you don't have to watch me type out a bunch of stuff. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a writer here that can create pamphlet text for an imaginary ramen shop that I own in downtown Tokyo. Just going to come here and create a field. We're just going to call it the deal. Single line is fine. We'll save that field. Let's add a prompt. Let's see. This prompt is going to be, we're going to add this as the system message. Just take a quick peek at this. You are the marketing director for a ramen shop in downtown Shibuya. We often hire staff who stand out in front of the shop and hand out pamphlets. It's very common in Japan, by the way. It should be super short and catchy. Pedestrians just don't got time, right? They're walking by, they're busy, they're going to work, they're coming home from work, whatever, right? They don't want to read a whole lot. So we just need it to be catchy, something that will grab their attention, show off a deal, and maybe get them to stop by for some ramen in our shop. So the prompt template itself can just be much more simple. We'll click here, see how that says used. Just double checking that just to make sure that I used the variable correctly. This variable matches up with the field that I created, the deal. Okay, and let's go into these AI settings. We're going to use the active model. That means whatever I have active in my models tray here. If I click here, it'll take me right down to it. Gemini 2.5 Flash Preview is it, and shows it right here as well. All right, let's see. These are the only settings I'm really going to change. I think this is good enough for now. You could play around with these depending on the needs that you have for your content. We'll give this a name here. We'll call it Create Pamphlet. Okay, let's save that. All right, so when I click Create Writer here, we're going to get a new writer, and it's got a single field called the deal, and it will run inside this prompt that will create a pamphlet. Let's just say that we've got let's say 30% off our signature ramen for the next 30 minutes. Quick deal. We'll hit write, and we should get our content. It's giving us a few options to try. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we got a few different options that we want to try, and then these will be pamphlet text that we might use on our pamphlets with some cool graphics and stuff to catch their attention as they walk by. We can regenerate this. We can also export it or copy it and do different things with it. We can even click here and edit our prompt if we need to make adjustments because maybe we didn't quite like what it gave us. In fact, let's go ahead and just change up the model here. Let's go for something like, we'll do 04 mini. Why not? Oh, sorry, 4.1 mini. We'll do that. We just switch we'll hit regenerate. We just switch the model, we'll hit regenerate, and it'll be done with the different model. So there you go. This is how GPT 4.1 interpreted our prompt and created our flyer. Not too bad. So that's pretty cool about the Smart Writer, right? The Smart Writer gives me the ability to set this up. Now I have a tool that anytime that I have a deal that I want to create pamphlet text for, I just come into here, drop the deal in, hit write, boom, I got my content. Now, there's a little bit more power to this, though, because we can actually run a chain of prompts one after another. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up here and hit edit here. I don't need to change the basic information. I don't need to change any of the fields, but I'm going to add another prompt here. So we'll go into here, and this is going to be review pamphlet. Okay, and I've got some more content I'm going to paste in here. Let's see. System message here will be this. Same marketing director for our ramen shop, but instead he's tasked with reviewing and improving the pamphlet copy. So next we'll have a template. We can leave the template pretty simple, but what we need to do here is make an adjustment. So we're reviewing and improving the pamphlet copy for this deal. And then we'll have the pamphlet copy. We need to tell it what it's going to work with. Okay. And then here, we're actually going to get some results from this. And I can see that there's something that I need to fix before launch, because there should be, since I have a previous prompt here, but I think I know what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and just review this real quick. It looks fine. We'll hit save. And I think if I edit this, there we go. I've got this prompt picker right here. So I'm going to click on this and click here. So what this means is when the create pamphlet is done working, it's going to pass the results into this variable. So it'll see the pamphlet copy. And I think I've done everything else. This active model and all that kind of good stuff. We'll save. Save the changes. Okay, now we're back here. Now you notice up here we have two prompts. We have the create pamphlet that will run first. It's active right now. And then we have the review pamphlet. So what I'm going to do is come here. We'll just clear the results so we kind of restart. This is what you would see when you first open this tool by default. And we'll come back into here. We'll use the same 30%. We're going to hit write all. So the first step will happen where the pamphlet will get created, then the second one will run. So here's the reviewed one. Here's the original. So 30% off our signature ramen. It changed it to 30% off signature ramen. So it kind of shortened things up, kind of made them a little bit tighter, cleaner. There we go. So what you see here is a series of prompts that are being run. Now you can imagine we can have as many prompts chained together as we want. Now this is a simple example, right? Creating flyer copy. But if you have various different writing tasks that you find yourself doing frequently, this will be helpful, because then you can come into here, and I always have this ramen pamphlet one available. Anytime I need to turn a deal into a pamphlet, I can just come into here and open this up, put my deal in there, hit write, and I get my pamphlet text. So this is a pretty cool tool to give you some really cool capabilities. I call it the AI Tinkerer's Power Tool, because once you start getting into chaining prompts together, you can really start doing some really powerful things inside of this Smart Writer tool. So that's pretty neat. What I want to do though is we'll leave this one here, and I'm going to create a new writer, but this time I'm going to use the AI setup, and I'm just going to copy in some text. And we'll do a quick review of this first. I need a writer that can create a pamphlet for my ramen shop. We hire staff to stand outside the shop to hand out pamphlets for deals in our shop, because we're in downtown Shibuya and there's a lot of pedestrians. A ton. I need the copy to be super catchy and very short. People walking by don't have a lot of time or desire to spend time reading. We'll print this copy out. Okay, so after the, let's just update this here a little bit. After the pamphlet copy is drafted, also perform a review and improve the copy to finalize it. Okay, now we can put a name here if we want to. If we don't, then the AI is going to create a name for us. And we'll just come here and we'll click create writer. Oh, by the way, this field right here where you can drop some text or markdown files is just if you need additional context to be loaded here so that it has a bigger understanding or more understanding of whatever it is that you're working on, then you can do that there. We'll hit create writer. It's going to go through some stuff. It's going to actually create the fields. It's going to create the prompts and do everything for us and kind of really do a good job in creating those prompts and stuff for us. Now, obviously, we're in testing and building up to launch, so there could be some issues here, and things might not quite be tuned perfectly just yet, but when we launch, we're going to have much more capability. So here we go. So draft pamphlet copy, and then the review and improve. So we got two prompts just like before. We got a lot more fields this time, and that's how the AI interpreted it. So I didn't put the name of my shop or anything into the AI description. So how would it know, right? So what you can do is, of course, you can come into here and edit it and go open the fields and remove the fields that you don't want. You can add and remove prompts and edit them and all that kind of stuff here. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to Actually, let's just fill it in. So we'll say it's Ichiran Ramen, 30% off our signature ramen for the next 30 minutes. Target audience, we'll say in Japan they call them salarymen. Unique selling points, let's say that we have an award-winning unique twist on tonkotsu ramen. And the call to action is visit now within 30 minutes. Okay, so we got all that stuff filled in. We'll hit write all, and we should get a draft copy and a reviewed copy. Now it's going to be a lot different than our handcrafted one, but okay, so this time the AI has decided that it would be good to show the improvements and stuff that it made. Let's see what we got for the draft. Ramen Rush, 30% off, award-winning tonkotsu, next 30 minutes only, grab yours now. That's not too bad. Switched it to Crave Ramen, 30 minutes only, 30% off our award-winning tonkotsu, act fast. Not bad. Okay, so the cool part here is that if you aren't quite sure what you want to create, or you want to let the AI do it for you and see if it comes up with something better than maybe you would do manually, then the AI way to create your prompt, your writer, is right there for you to use. A couple of things about how this works technically. So in Koubou, there's a concept where we have things stored in Koubou servers and we have some things stored locally in your browser. In the case of these writers, the definition of the writer, like the fields and the prompts and that kind of stuff, they're actually stored in the KB servers. And that way, no matter where you are, you can connect from work, you can connect from home, and these smart writers will follow you wherever you go. The content that actually gets generated by these, so for instance, if I come into here, I can click here and I can see a history of what we generated. I can click here and reopen it. It even fills in the fields that I had, what I filled into the fields to run this. And these are stored locally in your browser. So this browser that I'm in right now on this computer that I generated this from is where this is saved. Now, what you would do is you come here and just export them. You can export them as plain text, Markdown, or HTML, or you can copy out and to take it with you or to move it somewhere where you're going to use it. Just wanted to make you aware because that's kind of a paradigm throughout Koubou, because it's super fast. It's private, so none of this content is actually on a KB server anywhere. So there's no way that somebody could find it and take it or anything like that from you. So depending on what you're working on, then that might be important to you. So just wanted you to be aware. That's the Smart Writer concept here in Koubou. It's just one tool of many. I can show you that here real quick. If I open the toolbox, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tools right now. Technically, I guess a couple of more, because we also have notes, and then we have the customizer, which can be a designer tool as well if you want to copy out the colors. So that's pretty cool. Notes add context, and you can even use these notes inside of your Smart Writer prompts as well. I do want to show you one more cool thing though. If I open this and I add my personas tool, if I go into here, you can see I've got Jim Chen, Jake Thompson, and so forth, right? If I go back to Smart Writer now that I have the personas tool open or added to my workbench, and I come in here and I edit this prompt, I've got a new option here called persona. So I could click somewhere in here like Jake Thompson. Now Jake Thompson, that persona influences the writing style and the tone, all that kind of stuff. It's almost as if Jake Thompson has become the author. So if I save this prompt now and I hit regenerate, we'll get a totally different result. There we go. And that's because our persona for Jake Thompson is a mid-40s male from the Pacific Northwest. He likes to travel globally for leadership consulting. We have a little bit of information about his voice, his tone, the way he questions and vocabulary, all kinds of stuff about him, even a writing example. So we have a lot of information about Jake Thompson because we created that in our personas tool. and then we can use it in other tools throughout Koubou as well, where we have the need for a persona. So that's pretty cool, I think. A lot of this stuff kind of does work together in some ways, but a lot of tools are just kind of their own bespoke, completely separate little utilities, kind of like the YouTube chapters one here. This is its own really just kind of utility that helps you craft chapters for YouTube videos. And over time, I plan to add a whole ton more tools into this toolbox. And of course, this will be upgraded in its UI here so that I can add some search functionality and some categorization and stuff to make it easier to find the tools once we have a lot more. But this is the concept. This is my workbench. I open the toolbox, add the tools that I want to use. If I no longer want to use one of these tools anymore, I just click here. And let's say I don't want Humanizer anymore. I click that, click there, Humanizer's gone. I have my nice clutter-free workbench ready to do the work that I want to do. So there you go. That's the Smart Writers and a little bit more about Koubou. I hope you find it interesting. If you go to the Koubou Tools homepage and join the waitlist, I'll let you know when we launch. And for the first week or so after launch, we're going to have a 25% discount. So get on the wait list if you want to snag that discount. It's a 25% discount for the lifetime of your subscription. And it's just a super cheap price anyways. It's $96 a year by default. With the 25% off, it's $72 a year plus some applicable taxes. Like if you're in a country or zone with VAT or state sales taxes or things like that. But it's roughly about $6 a month. It's super cheap, and with this kind of power, and I'm really dedicated to making this even better. You know, I spent the last 4 years working on Chibi. I'm not giving up on this quickly either. You know, Chibi is still here. Chibi is still growing and getting updates behind the scenes. So this is going to be on that too. One of the other cool things about Koubou is that I actually listen to my users, and so in our Discord, we share ideas and feedback, and I solve real problems that my users have. So these tools come from ideas from users who need help with certain tasks. So if you want to, and you join after we launch, you'll get access to our Discord, and you can share your ideas and stuff too, and help influence what tools get created to help you accomplish more things. So I hope you find it interesting. Please join the waitlist, and until next time, take care.